Morning. Despite the cold early morning weather, apple orchards and pumpkin patches are still expecting huge crowds this weekend. The first freeze puts an end to growing season, but it won't end the growing fall festivities. 13 on your side's Amber Twardy was at Ed Dunneback Girls earlier this morning.
This is actually our centennial year, and we actually got awarded Centennial Farm of the Year this year, so we're super excited about that. My great-grandpa started the farm in 1925, and my grandpa then took over, and then followed by my mother. So we kind of did have a change. Everybody asked about the Ed Dunneback Girls, and that happened. Unfortunately, my Uncle Mike was the only son, and he was killed in Vietnam. He was drafted and killed over there, and it was at that point in time that my grandpa only had 2 daughters left. And so my mom was a senior in high school when that happened, and she decided that she was going to stay and help her dad with the farm. So she did go off to college and do that for a bit, but then ended up back here at the farm. And then consequently, she only had 2 daughters, myself and my sister. We grew up working on the farm, and we both left for a little bit, but eventually made our way back here. Now we have a house divided. My sister has 3 boys, and I have 3 girls. So we'll see what happens next.
I love that it's all a family business. I love the history behind all of it. And you guys have been pretty successful, of course, over the years. I mean, Centennial, congratulations.
Thank you.
So when we're talking about, too, what you've done over the years, what would you say are some really big highlights about the farm itself?
Well, I think that we've really come full circle. The barn that we're in right now here used to host events back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. My grandpa always had hay rides, you pick available, and then live music was a big part of our family. And so there's still the original stage in the back. And one thing that we brought back was live music a few years ago. He used to say we keep the beer downstairs, now we make the beer downstairs. So just the history of it really just evolving and coming back to what it always was a place for families and neighbors and friends to join and enjoy a fun time on the farm.
Hey, great stuff. I know you mentioned you picked too, all the apples behind you.
Yeah.
We've been talking about apples throughout this morning as well. Can you tell us a little bit about how the you-pick season has really gone so far, where you're at with the apple crop?
Yeah, so we grow about 15 different varieties on the farm, and so we are still picking probably 12 of those varieties. We have them in our you-pick block, some of the in our commercial block, obviously we've picked off already, but going great, looking forward, plenty of apples still to pick, and I'm sure there's a flavor for everybody. You can always come out when you pick and try one to see what fits your fancy, and we encourage you to try different types of apples too, not just Galas and Honeycrisp.
Yeah, absolutely. Now people coming out trying to enjoy some of the apples. They already have been for a couple of weeks though too.
Yes.
Kind of turning to the weather side of things.
Yes.
How has all the hot weather, even the drought, affected the apple crop this year?
Well, I feel like obviously farming in 90-degree weather is not that much fun. It gets it's hard work as it is, and to be hot is not that great. But we've had wonderful crowds, wonderful events come out and still enjoy the farm. Even during the warm months, we do a lot of charity events and things like that on the weekends to benefit other things in the community. And so we feel very supported at this point in time, and I think that this weather is just going to make it feel like fall, so everybody's a little bit more in the spirit of fall in Michigan.
Finally feeling like fall. It's
Right.
been a while. We needed it. But this morning, a little bit frosty for some areas. We could get some frost here this morning.
Yeah.
How could that affect the apple crop?
The frost really doesn't hurt the apples. It could potentially, do something to the pumpkins on the ground, but really, it just kind of extends the life of everything a little bit longer while it's still in the field or on the tree. So the cold weather preserves it a little bit better for us. So we're not in such a rush. And now if you want to start carving pumpkins, it's a great time because things won't go bad as quickly.
What kind of effect could the frost or some of these cold nights have on the pumpkins?
Just sometimes they can get discoloration, just like if you ever see, I think the biggest one is flowers. We have a lot of friends that farms that grow flowers, and they're probably praying tonight or overnight that their flowers would last to see another day. But we're kind of at the end of the season for those types of things. Obviously, they're a little bit more delicate, whereas pumpkins are pretty hardy.
Absolutely. Exciting stuff for the season. People likely going to be getting out quite a bit this weekend, and
Yeah.
Pumpkin Palooza is happening too. Can you tell
Right.
us a little bit about that event?
Yeah, so Pumpkin Palooza, we just we try to do everything pumpkin. So we're tapping a pumpkin beer, we have a pumpkin pizza, we're doing a pumpkin queso dip, and then things for the kiddos. We're doing a pumpkin painting station. We will have obviously lots of pumpkins for everyone to go out and pick out. We have the corn maze, the wagon rides, you pick apples. So all the festivities, and of course live music and great food and drinks for everybody to finish out the day with.